Thoughts from a boss, man. Shit, hit my man's back for this therapy session. You know, doing his because it's that severe case, man. We got a step trick, baby, that we gotta help out. You know. Let's get back to that conversation, part two from yesterday.
Hello?
Hello, hey, what's going on, man?
You all right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I got some time now, man. So
Yeah.
I had to clear a few
Yeah.
things out the way for you.
Yeah. Yeah, that picture of that woman that I showed you, she's the one that gave my mom that sex quiz that my mom filled out. But I was told
Okay.
those quizzes are mostly just for a joke, a prank. But some people said the
Well,
way how she filled it out, and if her handwriting was on it, it is probably her just being truthful.
Well, you know, for yeah, and that's how I look at it too. You know, a lot of the greater comedians they would always say that the best comedy is has the truth in it. You know,
Yeah.
like Richard Pryor's, your Eddie Murphy's, Jim Carrey's.
Yeah.
You know, what's Rodney Dangerfield's. You know, the best comedy has the truth in it. So even though you may be playing around with those types of quizzes and testing things,
Yeah.
it has a lot of truth in it. You know what I'm saying? It makes
Yeah.
the mind wonder, especially a stagnant mind.
Well, the thing was, she wasn't all there at the head anyways, because, she was married, but yet she'd be running around with other men and other women at the same time, but yet she was married
Yeah,
and
you
had
know,
3 kids.
well, women are emotional creatures. You know, and they're gonna seek out what they feel is in their best nature for their survival.
Yeah,
You know what
because
I'm saying?
like what I noticed, she basically tried to take down my mom a few times. She's basically trying to take her, and she told my mom a few times she needed a break from her kids. She needed a break from everything. And now when you're
Yeah.
a parent, you
See,
don't get those breaks. There's no breaks until your kid turns 18 when they move out of the house.
this is true. You don't really get no breaks. And
Yeah,
so that's just really the devil planting the seed into your mom and trying to get her
yeah,
to move on into this next stage of life. But at
yeah,
the same time, you know, as Adam and Eve went into the garden and Eve went into the garden, she also entertained that. You know,
yeah,
your mom put that water on that seed and let it grow.
yeah. Because like I said, like when me and my mom was walking down the street there, I think we were going to the doctor's office when all those black men eyed my mom. I think that they had intentions. They wanted to see her with her clothes off, and they were basically determined to make that happen. And basically, I don't think that my mom knew that, but basically, if they had their way, they would have had her walking down the street with her clothes off, pretty much.
Well, you know, that part I don't know. Um, it's a lot of time. I'm telling you, I know a lot of guys don't actually believe it, but a lot of the times the women are actually the ones that want to do those things. And they bring the
Yeah,
guys into it as well, or they try to seek out a guy that's already doing it
yeah,
so that they're already comfortable doing it, you
yeah.
know. And
Because,
so,
the thing was, like when we stayed the night at her house, I was in the room on the same floor. But at something like 10:30 at night, she told mom they were going to watch a movie, and she did. I couldn't watch it because her friend told her it was one of those adult movies.
mm,
And I found that odd. I said, how many women would sit down and set up a porno, watch a porn with another woman while her kids are in the house for the night? Because it's at a place.
right now, see who, and it's your mom's house though. So how can you blame this other woman? And it's your mom's house though. Your mom has to be able to say no.
It was this woman's house.
Oh, so you guys were at the woman's house.
Yeah.
So were you living
Because,
there at the? Were you guys living there at the time?
no, we had to stay the night because where we lived, we had to go out into the city where she lived to go on with her business. And, we knew her enough. We didn't think nothing of it, so we stayed the night. And as time went on, when we went to bed, she basically put that movie on. And, her friend shut the door of the room I was in.
Well, you
And they
know,
were basically,
I would suspect that women do that often, more often than we know, because
you're
it's a
probably right
lot of
on
that.
that.
It's a lot of that going on, and one plus one equals two. And then they
Yeah.
always assume that when men get together, we're doing weird things together. So, like you said, putting one and one together, it's gonna always equal two. Now,
Yeah.
your mom, what I'm hearing from you is basically, it doesn't seem like there's been any physical force into getting your mother into doing the things that she's done that scarred you for life.
Yeah.
It seems like it's been a lot of mental talking, and I don't want to use the word manipulation because I'm not sure is if it's that's because your mom kept her friend around who was allowing these things and always wanted to do these things. So it was something about that friend that even your mom was that she liked.
Well, Mom grew up with her whole life. She knew her, and you would think nothing of it because you think if if your parents are friends with somebody, you wouldn't think nothing out of place, right? You'd be just part of the normal.
Well, at that point, when you grow up with somebody and once you start seeing that you're going down two separate paths, you got one or two options. Either you can go down the path that's best for you or you can go down the path together with your friend. Now, you're either going to go down the path that's best for you with your friend, and that'll be your friend coming with you, or you're going to go with your friend.
Well, that's like the old saying, there's an ending to everything. Everything
Right.
ends.
Exactly. Because there's a thing about that. If we're both not on the same path and I'm supposed to go right and you're supposed to go left and one of us goes the other way to come with each other, there's always going to be a force to pull us off track.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So you just really,
right.
a lot of people just can't be alone enough to figure out which track they need to walk down themselves in order, because it's just like a highway. You're going to take the roads and you're going to join on, and once you join on the highway, you'll see other people in your lane.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you'll see people going to the places that you're going to.
Yeah, because in my opinion, I think she was basically trying to set it up for my mom, but my mom knowing it. But basically, I believe her goal was to get my mom out of her clothes, get her naked, and just get her used to everything.
Well, no, her goal was basically, she probably liked your mom, and they probably had conversations, and your mom was enamored by what she was saying and fascinated and wanted to try a few things, and maybe she been trying that their whole life. You never know. Maybe they've been doing that their whole life. So there's some things that before you were even born that you probably would never even know, or might not even want to know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So, like that would be one of those things. You know what I'm saying? This lady and your mom's been best friends for a long time, man. They could have been very well possible whole buddies their whole life.
Oh, in my opinion, I believe she was fucking my mom, and mom didn't want nobody to know about it. And I feel back then it was a terrible thing, but I think she was too embarrassed to admit it that this woman was basically fucking her.
Yeah, especially back in the 80s and 70s, the homosexuality was still frowned upon back then, whether it was woman on woman or man on man.
Yeah, yeah.
So even still though, it's certain women like that seek a certain type of guy, and it sounds like your father just was unable to fulfill those for your mom, and there's nothing wrong with that. And so they just decided to separate, and that's just two grown adults. As you're an adult now, you got to make the best choices for yourselves, and it has no bearings to do with the kids.
Yeah, well, they separated because of one too many stupid decisions, and normally what moral decisions that normal people don't make. But when you make too many, usually that's what happens. Divorce, and you go on with your life. But
right. And that's what they did. And so, now you kind of have to go on with your life. You know what I'm saying? You can't keep digging back into that past and digging that up. You know what I'm saying? You just got to go and let that shit go.
Because, when they were watching the porno movie, she asked my mom if she wanted to, to lay down, just relax a bit. And she was a little shy about it, but she basically, told my mom to lay down. And when she did, she was a little shy about it, but this woman was basically telling mom to masturbate and just,
your mom just is very submissive. That's all. She likes to be dominated mostly. That's what it seems like. She likes to be told what to do firmly.
Well, the word domination, there's two words. It's either it's physical, or it's the other term would be verbal.
Right, and I mean more verbal. She's just like somebody stern, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't
Yeah,
know if your dad ever came in the house like, hey, take them clothes off and come over here, get on the knees and suck my dick. I don't think your
yeah.
dad ever talked to her like that. You know, she might
No.
like somebody to talk to her like that. Some women are
Well,
like that.
there was a black guy that told her to do that one time, and then
And
I
she,
think it was coming home
and
from school,
and
and
she
she was
probably,
basically in her room on her knees, and her head was moving back and forth a lot because his head was on the back of her head. And,
yeah, because that's what he told her to do, right?
yeah,
Right, and so that's what your mom was looking for. There's nothing wrong with
yeah,
that. That's just what she's looking for. So there's somebody for everybody. There's some guys, there's some women out there that's looking for guys like you. That's
yeah,
looking for guys like your dad. You know, so
yeah.
was your dad ever had hard feelings about the services your mom was performing?
He was sort of aware of it, but he never really said too much about it.
Yeah,
Because I think as long as it was a woman, he didn't care. It was a guy, then it'd probably be a different story.
but there was guys.
Well, there was guys there, but I didn't I didn't think he wanted anything to do with the black guy because the black guy was quite I don't know confrontational. I mean, he was basically taking my mom, like her or not, and if she wants to go, she's basically going to get it. And basically, there was a time, he had my mom bent over one time. He was nailing her hard in the bum, and mom was screaming quite hard, and he's basically just telling my mom that she belongs to him now.
Well, I mean, that's just sex talk, man. You never talked to Zoe that way when you was hitting her in the bum?
Uh, Not really. I just, do
What?
your thing, and
Oh man, you
because
should try it, man. So when you hitting Zoe from the back, you never pull her hair?
well, sometimes I do, but like I always tell her, if something, if you're pulling your hair up is too tight, I always tell her to let me know, so you're not,
Nah,
bringing
man.
actual pain involved, right? And
You gotta pull her shit back, man. You know, let her know who's the boss. Tell her it's yours.
yeah,
You know, you gotta put your claims
yeah,
down. That's your girl, right?
yeah,
Right. You
but
put your claims down, man. You know what
yeah,
I mean? Come over when she come in the house, have some flowers, cook her a nice little dinner. You know, put the candle lights on, whatever. Tell her to come over
yeah,
here.
yeah,
Say, go in the room. It's something for you to put on.
yeah,
You know, you gotta do stuff like that for her. She'll like it.
yeah,
You know, you just gotta take control a little bit more.
yeah.
Is that something that you're lacking with Zoe? Or is that something that you're looking more at doing, love?
I sort of, but I usually, just usually take it easy and let her decide what she wants to do. But because like me, I won't bring nothing out in the open around people or anything like that. It's in a private setting. But I usually, the right time when to mention it and stuff. But she's quite, good going. But it's just, you gotta do things right.
Yeah, you definitely got to do things right. But what I'm saying is, like, what is the relationship that you're trying to have with her? Are you trying to get married, have
Well,
kids?
Well, the married part is something that I often use caution with because, once you're married, if a divorce happens, you basically got to start your life all over again. And divorces can be quite heated because when you're going through a divorce and if there's somebody else involved that's taking the partner away, when you're touching people's income, that can get quite heated. And that's why I usually take things, cautious because you want to make sure that she's committed because you don't want to be married to somebody halfway through that all of a sudden she's pulling out and all your lively stock is basically destroyed.
So what does Zoe do for a living?
She's a mental health nurse.
Mm.
She had to give up her casting director job because there's no work in that unless, like I said, you go all the way to Hollywood. You get lucky to do that, but going to Hollywood is like winning the lottery. The odds are quite slim.
Right. Most definitely. And
Because,
so,
like I said, you probably make more money working at your job than what you would acting in a part in a movie. The movies are made bigger than what it actually is. It's not
well,
to be big Hollywood publicity like everybody thinks it is.
Well, I actually make pretty good money on my job. Like what we're doing right now is actually what I do for a living. You know, I usually
Yeah,
get about 500 to 1,000 an hour.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
and but it's well worth it because you know at the end of the services, it's what I do is I just restore, you know, you.
yeah,
You know, I'm
yeah,
not creating a new you. You know, it's not a
yeah.
new Troy. It's the Troy that's always been there.
Well,
You
the
know what I'm
new
saying?
you, the only way you can start your life over again is always like they say when you die, you come back reborn as somebody else because they said we've been through it millions of times because that's why we get those flashbacks of people that look familiar, but yet you can't place them because they say that's somebody from your past livelihood who you just can't place because you don't remember it anymore.
But there's a way to remember it, and that's what I do.
Well, yeah, all
And
it
and
is, you just
and
haven't figured it out.
well, that's what I do. That's what I help you figure it out. Cause I
Yeah,
can't figure it out for you, but I can guide you to the lake.
yeah,
You know,
because,
drinking water is a natural phenomenon that humans do
yeah,
naturally. You know, babies automatically know how to drink water. You know,
yeah,
so if I
yeah,
take you to the lake and you don't drink none, that's on you. But what I
yeah,
do is definitely bring you to the lake so that you can drink this water and you can understand what's going on and you can move on and
yeah,
be the best version
yeah,
of yourself.
yeah,
Because like I think there's a lot in you that needs to be uncovered and brought out. You know, and
yeah.
once that happens, you know, you'll see something in yourself because you know I don't how do you feel about your relationship now? Is your mom still alive and your father still alive?
Oh, she's alive, but she said she prefers the single life 100 times over the married life by a long shot because she said the married life is just not worth it.
Yeah, see,
Because
she's
she
on.
said
How many times has she's been married?
she'd been married to one time.
Right. So see, you understand. She don't really. She's
Yeah,
not the married type of person to marry the
yeah.
marriage woman, and there's
Well,
nothing
that's it.
wrong with
See,
that. That's just her.
relationships
That's
are
her choice. There's some women that
yeah,
want to be married, and there's some that's not. That's their choice.
yeah,
That's okay.
yeah. Because it's like relationships, they're not meant for everybody. Some people
No,
would
they're
rather
not.
be single because they're happier, and
Right. You know,
yeah,
and so there's also guys that don't want to get married, and there's some guys that do.
yeah,
So if we're all honest about the intentions that we have, then there should be no problems.
yeah.
So that's
Because
basically that's part of what you got to learn
yeah,
is that you got to be honest, man. No matter how
yeah,
hard that it is, it's just got to be honest. Even with
yeah,
Zoe, you know what I'm saying? I know some of them things hurt you, man. You know, you don't
yeah,
want your girl out here having sex with other guys, you know what I'm saying? At least not you.
yeah.
Some guys don't really
Well,
mind that.
I
But
had the one girlfriend that ran around, and I let her go because the police officer told me they have a file. The cop once told me if a girlfriend you have runs around on you, chances are they did it to other people, and they got no regard for nobody but themselves, and they don't care what kind of damage or pain that they cause you. The only thing that they care about is themselves. And then the
right.
cop told me that. And the cop told me that we got a file on this person. He said we're not allowed to say what it is, but I said right now, this person been dealt with many times in the past, and she's pure trouble. And he said, if you want, I can send you the direction of the courts. They'll court order out, but he said a lawyer can do that on his own in his office. And
Mhm.
when you hear that, that there is a big indicator.
Right. And so but that's what you know, we don't want to get that far. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And so like there's always steps that leads up to it that you can see
Well,
so
you
that
just
you
gotta
don't
know
have to
what the
get that
warning
far.
signs are, what to look for. If you
Right,
see
the
these
red
certain warning
flags and
signs,
things like that. And so that's
yeah,
when you gotta, you know, take yourself and you
yeah,
know, figure out how much are you worth. You look in the
yeah.
mirror and be like, man, how much am I worth? You know, if I
Well,
seen me on the shelf, how much would I pay for it? How
yeah,
much, you know what I'm saying, in compensation. Even when
yeah,
you go to any jobs that you go to, you want to say the
yeah,
same thing. You know what I'm saying? Look
yeah.
yourself in the mirror and be like, man, how much am I worth? You know what I'm saying? How
The
much
big
should they
wild
pay me for
parties
what I
is a
do?
big indicator. The big wild parties is a major indicator because all they worry about is getting drunk, getting high. They don't care about what it takes to make the money
Well,
to get
see,
what they want to get.
here's the thing about women that you got to understand is that they're wired differently. They don't think the same as we think. So, you know,
Yeah.
it sounds like you may be trying to get married one day.
Well, one day We'll see, but right now I'm all about shut down the basement before you build a house. You got to build a foundation before you build a house.
Right. And so the
Once that's
foundation,
built, and it can go up.
and so what we most oftenly misunderstand is that that foundation is us. You're the
Yeah,
foundation. So
yeah,
like when one of the things that help build that foundation is to be physically and mentally strong, and that'll lead to
yeah,
you being spiritually strong. Once
yeah.
you become those two in combination, the third just falls in line.
Well, that's what I think. How like that BNWO thing started, the Black New World Order. I think it's just a bunch of them that got together and they started building their foundation up, and they just made themselves noticed, and that's how it started. That's what I think of it. But
The Black New World Order, what's that? I've never heard of that.
the BNWO, they call themselves. They call it the Black New World Order.
Where they from?
It's on Facebook. It's a group. And I talked to some of the administrators. They're all over the world, of course, and that's what they actually think. But that's what I think about it. But
Wow.
but I said, well, some of it could be just fantasy and not reality. They said when you get hooked up into fantasy, that impacts your mental health functioning, and when that gets impacted the wrong way, now you start to decline. You're in a world that doesn't exist.
Well, what do you mean when you get intact in the fantasy? Like, do you think that these?
Facebook is social media. Social media will put anything out there that's not truthful. And if you glue to it enough, you'll start to think that. You'll think it's true when it's not.
Well, I personally I haven't heard of this group before, so I don't even know what they discuss or what they talk about.
Well, that's why I questioned them, because I said, because like I said, the Black Lives Matter movement, when that first started, I didn't know what they were. Until they started talking on what they were doing, they were defending their rights and all that stuff. And when they started doing that, I just let them be, because when you listen to the press, when they hear things the way how they want to hear it, it's misscrutinized the wrong way from what it's really meant to be. And what they're out to be, what they're out doing is not being truthfully out to the public when they put it on the news. But after when I was talking to them, it wasn't so bad.
See, that's where I'm going to have to interject right there, because the Black Lives Matter at its fundamental basis is supposed to be a movement that stands up for the injustices that's been going on for black people for over 400 years. Now, you being in Nova Scotia should know more better than anyone else if you know the history of Nova Scotia, right, we was trying to get there to be free. So, then upon us becoming free, we have a regime called Hollywood that does what it does to paint a picture of whoever it wants to pay.
Because here's a part of what you don't
wait, hold on 1 second, hold on. Now I'll give you a prime example of how power leads into you can't fuck with me. Because remember, Hollywood a couple years ago made a fucked up movie. It was a satire comic about the leader in North Korea, right? So ever since then, he been smooth lighting off missiles, and I bet won't nobody touch him, will they?
Yeah.
Right.
No.
See, now black people, we don't have that luxury, because not only were we stripped of our homeland, we don't even know where exactly we came from that we were stripped from.
Yeah.
So that's a double negative. So when you can't blame someone in the natural human mind, it's always going to dig back into power. Like, have you seen the Egyptian pyramids?
I had, but I questioned how they were built, because I have a theory how they were
built, but
a lot of people would accept the reality.
Right. That's a great mystery. Now check this out. Listen to this. Now, besides being questioned on how the pyramids were built, right?
Yeah.
We do credit those people for not only astronomy, but mathematics, science, health, shit, like damn near everything that we know, right? Even almost religion. Now, inside of those pyramids, they have a lot of paintings. And all of those paintings, and most of them, they have everybody painted in color. So if we're going to credit them for all of these great things, we cannot discredit them to be slow enough to paint people the wrong color.
Yeah.
Right. So in these positions that they had people in, they were people of color. And so now when you strip people of a place and you tell them that they're this, and then this comes up and this is a new discovery, this is just like you said, this is your past life coming back. This is me taking you to the water to drink.
Yeah.
So when you hear something like a Black New World Order, that's just basically taken from the Illuminati.
Yeah.
Whether they're serious or not, we don't have a platform like Facebook to do it on our own.
Yeah.
So we have no choice but to do it on Facebook. But see, when you can get to the water and drink and do whatever you want in the water, you can use whatever platform you want and be successful.
Yeah.
And so I think that is the problem that a lot of people are having these days, is that they really see the transition happening in front of their eyes.
Yeah.
And not only that, but it's a peaceful takeover.
Yeah.
Right. Because and at the end of the day, if black people really wanted to have an army, let's take all of the sports players in the NFL, the Major League Baseball, and the NBA,
Yeah.
and let's put them in our army and equip them with guns and shit. Who wants to fight those guys?
Oh yeah, well that's it. Nobody would want to do it.
Exactly. So as black people, we're really being peaceful about everything.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So all we really do, I understand people get mad because the women, they really like us, but they really like us because we're stern on the things that we say. If I tell a woman this is what I want, that's what I mean. If I say, hey, I'm going to the store and I'm coming back, that's all I'm doing. Now, a lot of guys do other things in between, but most of the thing that they say, the truth shall set you free. That's what God teaches us, is the truth shall set you free.
Yeah.
So when you stay honest, and especially you can't lie to yourself, you could lie to me. Like your name might not even be Troy, but when we hang up the phone, you know your name. You know what I'm saying? If your mama call you, if your name is Jeffrey and your mama say Jeffrey, you're gonna turn around.
Yeah, well, that's like the name of Jesus Christ. Everybody calls him that, but his real name is Joshua. If you go to the Bible, and if you look him up, his name's not even Jesus Christ. To top it off, he wasn't even perfect.
Well, what's perfect?
We don't know what that is because we never seen it before.
But we have seen it before. Adam was made perfect.
Well, that's a good question because, my opinion, I think we're from another world. We were placed here to start all over again from somewhere else. That's my opinion.
Who is we?
Us humans.
Oh, from another world?
Yeah, because I don't know if you noticed it, like a couple months ago, NASA made the announcement that they found life on another planet, but they said it was ocean life. But they said the odds of us getting there with our technology is slim to none.
So so now let's listen to what they just said and what you said. They just said that they found life on another planet, but it was ocean-like. But with our technology, the chances of us getting there is slim to none, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So how do they even know that there's life there in the first place?
I would say it's from those satellites that they shoot up there. They leave up there for years and years, and they just get the pictures from them.
Now I'm gonna fuck your brain up real quick. So show you. In the beginning, God made the sun and the earth and all that, and the moon, and and He separated the waters. The sky He called the heavens, those waters, and the ones below He called the sea, right?
Yeah.
Now the key word there is He separated the waters. If the one above is the same as the one below, then every time you go to the sea and touch that, that's what's in the sky, right?
Yeah.
So when has mankind ever gotten to the bottom of the ocean?
Well, that's a good question.
Right, so now, have you ever seen NASA practice their spacewalks?
Never, except for on their YouTube channels with their GoPro cams, and that's about it.
Right, but I'm talking about practicing their spacewalks, when they're getting in preparation before they actually say they're going out of space.
No, you don't.
Right, well, they practice their spacewalks in the ocean.
I'd say no.
Okay, well, when you Google it, look it up. They practice the spacewalks in the ocean.
Yeah.
Why would they do that?
I would say because they're training for the real thing,
Exactly, because as in the Bible it says, as below is above.
and yeah,
Right. So it's one of the same substance. Now, like I just asked you, if they've never gotten to the bottom of the ocean, how they getting out of space? It's just it's just one plus one is going to always equal two.
yeah.
That's
So you're
all.
trying to figure out a problematic situation. It's just like a
Right.
math equation. Once you figure it out, then you figure out the problem.
Right. That's all. It's just
Yeah.
one plus one is going to always equal two.
Yeah.
So you just have to add things up and put it into perspective, and then that's the way you can march forward with things. And see,
Yeah.
like these are the type of things you got to focus yourself more on. It's a different lane and a different way to think.
Yeah.
That way you're not so much worried about your girl and what she doing, because now she gonna be worried about what you doing.
It's about the same. Yeah.
You know, no, it's
Yeah.
not about the same, man. It's a whole lot better that way. Cause I'm telling you
Well,
now when you get
well,
home and you finally, ready, she gonna be all
Yeah.
over you, man.
Yeah.
She gonna be all over you, man. Just like the way
Yeah.
you want it. You gonna be that well-oiled machine out here getting it and being a good service to the community and the world at the same time. You're gonna be helping people
Yeah.
and getting rich.
Yeah. Well, like I said about like my mom back then, I say that woman who she was friends with was basically setting my mom up without her even realizing it until she was up to her neck in water with her, and in my opinion, I think she was trying to keep her for herself and trying to,
Yeah, I mean, that could be so. They were childhood friends, so we can't really discount that. I don't.
Yeah.
Does your mom have any other brothers and sisters?
Oh yeah, she had about 3 brothers and 2 sisters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I was told that that woman, she actually stripped my mom naked. It's just, she knew I was in the room, and it was like late at night. She just said to hell with it. She just went at it anyways. But I just question, if she was capable of doing such a thing. But I don't know, right?
Well, I mean, see, this is the thing. It seems like you never question why is it that so many people can strip your mom naked.
Because they just wanted to do it, I'd say. You just got the urge, you're attracted to something, you want to have it, you want to fuck it, and you go for it.
And so
That's what I think.
Right, so it's this many people that want to do it, and your mom is, and and not just your mom. Actually, we're gonna have to just start including both Zoe too, because she's showing the similar behavior patterns, and
well, see, I had an aunt that got stripped naked by a boyfriend one time.
maybe
They kept it low profile, but I think it was just humiliation. Don't want to admit to it that she actually got stripped in completely naked by another person.
Yeah, but see, I think maybe now I'm adding things up again, and it seems like that the situation with Zoe is triggering for you.
Well, Zoe, they asked her. That was a big difference there. They asked her, and she was unsure about it. But once you did it, she was a little, shy about it because she was on top of a coffee table, dancing basically naked, and they liked what they seen, but she just was concerned about the work getting out that they had her up on the thing doing her thing, but it is what it is, sort of thing.
Well, I mean, what I'm trying to say here is how can I phrase this? So, like Zoe's displaying similar behaviors that your mom did, and so as a child, you came and you witnessed these things with your mom, and now it seems like as an adult, you're also witnessing these similar guys doing similar things to a woman that virtually looks similar to your mom.
Well, pretty much, because like you said, they look similar, but
Right.
just from a different time frame.
So when Zoe's standing on the coffee table, dancing seductively for these guys and enticing them in every single way that she possibly can and enjoying it.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I was just basically standing there watching, because I was trying not to show those excited to sin, but but on the on the other side, you're embarrassed to sin at the same time.
I mean, like, no, let's just be, like I say, man, you can't lie. You can lie to me, man, but you can't lie to yourself in that
Yeah.
moment, because obviously you've seen Zoe more than one occasion on that coffee table, doing what she do seductively for other guys, enticing them in every manner that she can.
Yeah.
And so in that moment that she's doing it, how are you feeling? What are your thoughts? And if it's something that you're enjoying, that's okay. There's no problem with that.
Yeah.
And even if it's to the situation to where maybe, you're collecting the proceeds from Zoe as she gets done, hey man, there's no problem with that either. I'm just trying to get to the real skinny of the situation. So we ain't got to be walking around the block to get to the neighbor's house. You feel me?
Yeah. Well, see, Zoe, she was caught masturbating one time early in the morning when she was supposed to go somewhere, but it was by one of the people that was at that party that time. And I was just thinking, well, maybe that's why they probably asked her, because she was seen, and they liked what they seen, and that's why they asked her. Because that was like 6 o'clock in the morning. She was, watching a movie, and she just went at it, and just laying on her bed with her eyes closed, and just.
And you seen it?
I wasn't there.
Oh, so how you know?
That seen it, and she said Zoe was basically right into it. Her eyes were closed.
Yeah, I mean, shit. What's wrong with that?
Fast and.
What's wrong with that? She touching herself.
Well, it's not that, no. Like Zoe's supposed to go somewhere, and this woman was a black girl. She, knocked on the door. Nobody answered. Like normally, you would look around why they're not answering, and so obviously she looked in the window, and that's where she seen Zoe, basically naked, going at it. But I just figured, normally you'd be embarrassed if you caught somebody doing that, but she actually watched it for a bit, and basically, well, she told myself, but.
Yeah, but see, man, like that really don't have, no effects on you. Like it really shouldn't, because it's not like she planned on somebody peeking in on her watching on some voyeurism.
Yeah, that's just what. That's
just he say, because the person that seen it, they was excited themselves. They was enamored and enumerated.
Yeah, because she said she sort of liked what she seen, because
she liked what she
from the
seen.
Bottom side, from the bottom of her feet and her legs, and then she said she was rubbing her vagina really fast, and her eyes were closed going at it, but the TV was on, but she couldn't really tell what Zoe was looking at, because early in the morning it's not much on unless she had a porno in her DVD. She was just masturbating, going at it and just thinking of stuff, but.
Well, man, she just gonna do what she do. That's just her on the personal. Obviously you wasn't there, or anybody else that might be trying to turn her on. So, like, who's the one calling the shots to get her up on the coffee table?
I was this guy, but I'd say that woman that caught her is basically who told him, and of course you're gonna go in that direction. He asked her, and she was unsure, but she did it, but.
Oh yeah.
But,
and then she liked it.
Pretty much.
And so when you found out that she liked it, how did that make you feel?
It just felt odd, it's strange and stuff, but it's just, it is what it is, because I thought maybe this black girl was out to get Zoe too, because I figured maybe she was out to get Zoe, her first interracial lesbian fuck, whatever, because I said, well, maybe that's what it is, and she just seen what she liked, and she's going in to see if she can get it.
Well, if she keeps going in, I just happen to believe that, somebody's displaying those signals back.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
That's all I could really say about that.
No,
Like,
I say
I
we
don't,
all came
if you
across odd
don't, yeah,
situations like that.
if
I say we all did, but
right, because you have to cut that off if that's not something that you into. You have to
yeah,
cut that off immediately, and if
yeah,
it persists, then you just have to cut the person off totally. So,
yeah.
that's not
Because
something. Uh huh. Go
I
ahead.
was wondering if maybe she might have blackmailed Zoe, saying no, they'll be caught you, and they'll keep it quiet, but they want her to do a thing for them, and that's it. Well, maybe that's how they got her up. Well,
Cause see, like what you doing right now is you trying to make excuses for Zoe to have a
yeah,
reason that she was coerced into doing something that she wouldn't want to do. When in
yeah,
factuality, you know, you sat there and you watched her dance on the coffee table, and you seen the
yeah,
excitement and enjoyment in her face as she danced and paraded
yeah,
around. And not only did you see that, but the excitement in her face brought joy and blissfulness in your face and body.
yeah,
Right. So,
yeah,
like, I mean, we don't have to deny these things. These are just things that, you should explore more and be free about it. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Have you two
Well, like
tried swinger?
Zoe was
Have
just,
you tried swinger parties?
yeah, because Zoe, that was just, getting her to dance or lap dance naked on the coffee table. That's one thing, but back to my mom, that looks like she was mostly, captured by this woman who basically, like you said, started one thing, led it to another, then, she had full control over her, and, then that's how that guy got involved, and that's how they got a hold of her.
Well, that's not really most times. As you can see, what's consistent in both stories is that you keep trying to deflect accountability onto not only the friend of your mother but also the friend of Zoe.
Yeah.
So like you won't even hold your mom or Zoe accountable for their own actions. You place all blames on their friends, but in most time, most women has a little hoe buddy that they get out there and get with. Now the hoe
Yeah.
buddy and between the hoe buddy and your mom and Zoe, there's always gonna be one or the other that knows somebody or is outside getting somebody,
Yeah.
and when it's time for it, they can link up together and do what they do safely because they can watch each other's back.
Yeah.
You see, so but we can't deflect accountability from your mom or Zoe. They got to be held accountable for the things that they've done. Now, all I'm
Yeah.
really saying that, like for you, if the things that they're doing is hurting you in a manner that you don't like, you have to effectively cut that off totally.
Yeah. Yeah. Because like I said, I only seen the 4 events with my mom. I mean, the rest is overall, hairy, just hair. But it's just
Well,
the 4
see,
occasions.
like me personally, like I don't, if that's what your mom was doing to have to feed and clothe you at the time, man, I don't
Yeah.
mind what she had to do. She did what she had to do. I don't think she's still doing it now, or she did it all the
Oh
time,
no.
forever. And
She's
maybe she made a change and a transition into a different lifestyle, which would also be
yeah.
great. But at the time, though, she got you from where you was to where you needed to be. And so, we
Yeah.
just have to congratulate her for at least that. And the rest of what
Yeah.
she had to do, we just hold it accountable. It is what it is. She did what she did. She had fun
Yeah.
doing it as well. I can about guarantee that.
Well,
And one
I
thing's for
say,
sure, two things for certain. She had fun doing that, and she didn't have fun being married.
oh, that's for fact. Because, like, my opinion, like one person said, you have to accept defeat that mom had fallen to them. Because most people won't admit to it because this woman had my mom naked. She's probably shy being naked, but at the end of the day, this woman liked what she seen, and she brought my mom down something fierce. I see my mom, trying to fight it off when she was playing with her, but over time, my mom couldn't take it no more. She just started like a whimpering and trying to fight it off, and all of a sudden her hips were moving right fast, and she just started, admitting defeat.
Hey, she submitted.
Yeah.
You're right. She submitted. She laid her sword down.
Because I seen her like standing in the back room naked,
Yeah,
back
yeah,
against the wall. But I
yeah.
seen this with her friend,
See,
where her mouth all on my mom's vagina, and her hips were moving right fast, and her eyes was closed, and she was like whimpering, trying to fight it off, but she couldn't.
Look, man, I'm gonna give you a great comparison. Your mom is a lot like the black people in America. They just blindly gonna follow the same bullshit that's gonna fuck them up.
Yeah.
You know, every single time without question. You don't even gotta
Yeah.
put the handcuffs on her. She gonna do it. She gonna walk right in the cell and lock herself in there.
Well, one guy had a cell for her. He had like a cage, and then there was a time he had her arms handcuffed behind her back and basically walked her out with a blindfold on, completely naked. But
Well, I mean,
I
see,
was upstairs.
but this is what I'm saying. These are the type of fantasies that your mother likes to be single because she wants to be with a guy that will explore those fantasies with her.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And so, but there's nothing wrong with that. So I don't want you to feel like you have to blame your mother or anything for having those type of wants and needs in her life.
Yeah.
Because that has nothing to do with you personally. That's one of the reasons you got here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's for sure.
we can't knock that, you know. So
Nope.
we gotta put that in perspective. But as far as holding her accountable for doing these things and acts while you were around, knowing you were around, well, yeah, man, we gotta hold her accountable for that.
Oh,
And now the other thing,
probably
you know, so with
thousand
that,
bits
but
out
with that, we
sleeping.
could just let that go. You know what I'm saying? Because that's your mom's.
Yeah.
You know, there's really nothing you could do about that. But there's a whole
No.
lot that you could do about Zoe.
Yeah. Well, Zoe, they had her oiled up. She was all rubbed down in this oil that made her body really shiny, and
And
she actually looked
Did she
bright
did,
shiny.
did she look good to you when she was shined up?
Oh yeah, she looked very good when she shined up. But I mean, it was like never seen that happen before because I seen her. She didn't oil herself up; they oiled her up.
Right.
When she
But
came
I'm saying,
out there, she looked very
but
different.
but what I'm saying, you were watching them oil her, right?
Yeah.
Right. So like while you were watching them oil her, like you were over there taking notes, like, oh, okay, she likes it like that, like this, you know. You were happy
when they
about it,
were
right?
oiling her up, you know, they basically rubbed it, you know, over her face and her breasts and stuff. But when they held her legs apart and cut the ball of her feet and they rubbed her ball of her legs, when they started rubbing her vagina, she looked at those funny because I could tell by her expression on her face she was starting to fall into it and she couldn't take it anymore. And that's where
Yeah.
she started getting aroused. And
Right. And that's when you started getting aroused, right?
yeah.
Right. So you like it. That's what I'm saying.
Well, it was a black girl too that oiled her up too. You know, that was
Yeah.
the
So
first time I seen that. But
So now, when you guys were oiling each other up, like this was a party that you threw.
oh, it was just a party, just just a gathering. It wasn't something that they do every time. They just, that woman caught Zoe, and said, well, let's see her, and they talked her into it because, she obviously she did, but
Yeah. And did they ask your approval?
Well, she was shy about it, but they just basically kept at her until finally she did approve it, but she didn't want nobody to know about it. But, when you get all kinds of people there, over time they are going to know about it.
Right. But I'm saying, like, you was there too. Did they ask for your approval for Zoe to dance on the coffee table?
No, they didn't, because all they did was ask Zoe, and that was it.
Oh yeah, they knew you was there with her, right?
Yeah.
And
Because when she
they
was up there, I mean, it was a major shock, but, I figured, I said maybe they're going to try to fuck her or something. Something's going to happen, I figured maybe, something's going to take place, and when it
yeah.
was done. But,
So like what it sounds like is like you liked it though.
well,
So
I just, like when I showed you Zoe's picture, I just, basically asked you, because you see them basically stripping Zoe down completely naked, and,
who could I? Oh yeah, most definitely. You know,
yeah.
Zoe.
Like
You know,
I just wanted
when I was doing my thing, Zoe get a lot of money. Easy.
yeah, because
Easy.
when I seen her going at Zoe, I just wondered if Zoe stood a chance where she going to end up naked one way or the other. Cause,
Well, I mean, see, that's the thing because you telling me, you got a small chance of having one that's fair for a square and slow for a pro, and
yeah.
if we should get her to take a full transition, then she'll probably be an ace runner around this motherfucker, man. But that's when I was doing what I was doing. Yeah, she
Yeah,
definitely be if she gonna go like that, she gonna go like that. You know, and if you gonna
yeah,
sit back there and be a cuck about it, then yeah, we're gonna let it happen. You know, but
yeah,
at the end of the day, when she get back home to you, she gonna have a couple dollars. You know, might maybe a few gifts to give you, and you
yeah,
know what I'm saying.
yeah,
As long as you keep the bills paid and have everything situated, everything will be
yeah,
cool like that.
yeah. And when she got off the stage and all, it was a little odd, seeing her walking around naked, but she was like naked for about an hour and a half because like I try to tell her, once they oil you up, it's a little hard putting your clothes back on because your clothes are sticking to you. It's like going outside on a rainy day when you get wet with your clothes on, your
Well,
clothes stick to you.
she getting oiled up. She ain't thinking about keeping her clothes on. So you know what I'm saying. The
Yeah,
thing is you is you trying to keep her at home. You know, because you don't
yeah,
need to be. We don't want you mentally distressed outside in the world over a female. You know what I'm saying. Now, if
yeah,
this is okay with you and she can live her life and be the actions, then you should probably support her as best as you can.
yeah, yeah,
You see what I'm
yeah,
saying? So other
yeah,
than that though, if it's bothering you even a little bit and you got an inkling, man, I'd get up out of there as soon as possible. Because
yeah.
because man, it's only gonna get worse.
Mm. Well, it's mostly a learning experience more than anything else.
Huh?
It's mostly a learning experience more than anything else.
Well yeah, man, sometimes you know you can apply the mastermind principle too. And you could pay for
Yeah,
somebody else's life works and accomplishments to get yourself ahead a lot faster.
yeah. Because like that one's friend, her. I mean, I was told that they had my mom's friend a few times. They were basically fucking her a couple times. Hard actually, and it was just, I questioned it a lot. But at the end of the day, I often wondered if they would have had them completely naked. Because at the end of the day, it is what it is. But I just, I questioned it because like my mom was still legally married. Because I figured, well, they won't get her naked or whatever because she's married, she got kids. Now they'll gloss over it. But they made a beeline right to it.
You know, it was already discussed. They already had that planned out.
Yeah.
That's all.
'Cause,
It was
I
already
mean,
planned out. They was gonna
it
get
was a
it on as
little, it
soon as
was
they got in the
embarrassing when
house.
they had her naked because, like, I asked people like yourself, if you yourself would have had her naked or stripped in completely naked because it was a shock, but
Well, I mean, it was a
some
shock for
people,
you because you was a child and I was your mom.
yeah,
So that's why it was a shock, you know. But if you place yourself in the position of the guy that's got the girl and she's willingly doing this for you feeling good,
yeah,
ain't you? You know,
yeah,
just like when Zoe is willingly up on that coffee table getting oiled up by people's and different women's and stuff like that, you Troy feel good about it.
yeah.
Right. So I mean, you know, if you like it, you like it, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Well,
Nobody really gotta know y'all business and fetishes like that.
no,
Y'all can live
well,
life accordingly and
the
keep
thing
that
is,
to the side in
back
private.
to my mom, they gave her a pair of those high-heeled leather boots.
Yeah.
She gave them that all of a sudden. I mean, she wore them on, but she never wore them on a whole lot. Those high cut boots, they go up to their knees.
Okay, yeah.
But
I know what you're talking
you
about.
know, yeah. But when they had my mom naked, it was a shock. But he basically just sat on the couch, and my mom basically had to face him, and he was bouncing my mom up and down a lot, and seen the bottom of her feet moving a lot, and she tried to fight it off, but she couldn't. She just started humming and moaning and trying to fight it off, and he basically brought my mom down to his mercy, and she just started screaming and getting all excited and saying, "Okay, you have me, I'm yours," and that was basically about it.
Well, you know, he was done. You know,
Yeah,
they both probably came at the same time.
yeah,
You know,
because
so what there should be no issue in that. Your mom was happy,
well,
man. You got to be happy for your mom that she was happy.
yeah, well, my mom seemed a little embarrassed about, shy about it, but he was basically telling my mom though that she's his now and all that stuff, that she belongs to him, and you know, he was kissing her a lot and stuff. But you know, when he rolled her over, you know, my mom she squirted. She seen stuff coming out of her. She squirted, but at the end of the day, it ended.
You saw all that?
I heard of it.
Oh, you heard of it, but you didn't
Yeah.
actually see it. How did you
Yeah.
hear of it?
Well, I heard my mom's friend talking about it.
Oh, okay, you overheard
But
the
that's all
conversation.
talk, right? Because I can go through and say something about something doesn't mean it's all true.
That's correct. You overheard
Yeah.
the conversation.
Yeah.
Okay.
But today, my mom did. Well, see, that woman left. She left long ago. She actually had a divorce and moved away and all that fun stuff. So
Who, your mom's friend?
yeah, she's gone long ago.
Oh yeah, so
'Cause,
she ain't right. So
her
she don't
husband-
trust nobody else to hoe buddy with because their secrets might get
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Right. So you
Because
know.
she was married and everything. Her husband filed for divorce and basically threw her out and
Right,
basically
so-
told her, if you want to be with Buddy, you go do your thing. But other than that, you know, her marriage came to an end and she had to get out.
Yeah. So your mom, you know, she expired already in the game is the term.
Well,
But
that's where everything ended, to tell you the truth. That's where everything ended.
right. You know, but so now the focus has to be transitioned over to where Zoe is and where you're at with her.
Yeah, it's just the same thing, but it's a little different. But you know, it's just the same thing in a way. But you know, but she seems to be, you know, settling down. It's not as wild anymore because she's in her mid-30s, so that's a good sign. But you know,
Yeah. Does she have
but she
kids?
seems to no.
No
She seems to
kids?
have a head on her shoulder. She's not crazy, you know. She'll go during all these wild parties, steady, and cause herself a drinking problem or a drug problem. Nothing like that. She has control over it. But she's quite self-awareness when she's out and about. So it's a good thing.
Yeah, that is a good thing. That's a good thing. So, but you know,
Yeah.
it's the part with the dancing and stuff like that. Now, personally, if I'm not getting off the proceeds of what she's doing while she's doing that, I'm not inclined to endeavor in what she's endeavoring in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now for you, I'm not sure exactly what type of gain you're getting unless you're getting just some type of a pleasurable fetish out of it.
Well, again, you gotta watch what kind of gang it is, because you know, because I know people that are gang members too, but you know,
No, not a gang as in a gang member. Like what type of gang? Like what type of addition? Yeah, like a gang, an addition.
I thought you said gang. All right. Yeah.
No,
All right.
like an addition. Like I don't know what the plus is for you. You know, watching her do all of that. Like for me, if I'm watching my girl do all of that, I'm getting all the money.
Yeah, she doesn't really do that a whole lot. It was like one of those one-time things only.
Yeah, okay, it doesn't matter. One time is enough for me to know that, you know, you did it this one time and collected enough of this money, and I'm gonna get that money this one time. But let's do this one time 100 times, and let's do the 100 times 1,000 times, and then once we do it 1,000 times, let's do it 1,000 more times in 10 places. You know what I'm saying? And now we start to do long division and long multiplications practice. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I'm trying to get to with you is like, what type of gain are you getting out of watching it? Because it doesn't sound like you're getting any money. It just sounds like you're getting a pleasurable fantasy fulfilled.
Well, see, I get the pleasure, but her part of it was she made her money.
Right. So she's getting double pleasure.
Yeah.
You know, she loving her job. She feeling sexy. She getting turned on. She's having orgasms. And on top of that, she's making money to help pay the bills, if not pay all of them.
Yep.
Right, so that's what I'm saying. Like, all right, so you just get a good living situation out of it. Is she paying all the bills, or are you paying the bills?
Oh, we share.
Okay, you go half and half.
Yeah. Well, here
Okay,
in Nova
so
Scotia, you have to because you pay like what is it, 25% taxes. It's quite high here.
okay.
Yeah, because that's why our healthcare is free. Well, it's supposed to be
But
free.
shit, man,
The major.
we pay 22% taxes. Still.
Oh.
Yeah, they don't tell you that. Yeah, America still pay about 22%,
Yeah.
35% for some cases.
The only healthcare you pay for here is your dentist and the psychologist or psychiatrist. If you have a mental health issue, you have to pay for it, unless the court order doctors, it is free.
Yeah, you
But
probably
other
don't
than
want
that,
the court to order
you pay. Yeah. Other than that, you pay for it. But that's the whole problem. But now, if you gotta go court order because you got a problem, you gotta go crazy to get the service because the service won't go to you if you try to look for it because you can't afford it.
Right.
Yes, that's where the system backfires on itself.
Yeah. So I get it. You know, a lot of this is hard to afford. So you gotta keep her because you need her. It's cheaper to keep her, type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
so
the thing is, if you were to go to the jails and if you're going to check to see who's mentally ill, over half of them are mentally ill because they're in there because the service is not out in the community for them to get access to before they have to go there in the first place.
Right. It never gets addressed or serviced. Right. It never gets addressed or serviced. It just goes unnoticed, untouched, unquestioned.
Yep.
You know, so those are things, you know, but these are things in society that we gotta get out and start perfecting ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know, maybe you should look into doing some political things with your time too. You might have a future in that.
If the parties don't like you, because you got your own agenda, they don't want you because the parties are there. If you're going to pay them money, if you're going to try and draw them money, they want you. But if you're not, if you're there for the people, they don't want you there.
Yeah, well, you know, we got to get the people to stand up. That's what's going to be the difference.
There was a person that stood up, and that was John F. Kennedy, and people killed him.
Oh, well, you know, it is what it is. We don't know exactly the story.
I'll tell you a little secret a lot of people don't know.
Yeah.
President John F. Kennedy's nephew lives out our way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Max Kennedy. Max Kennedy's father is John F. Kennedy's brother.
Yeah.
Robert Kennedy.
Yeah.
And Robert Kennedy's son lives out here in Nova Scotia.
Okay, that's where he's living right now?
Yeah, he does a lot of duck hunting.
Mm.
And I told the police officer one day, I told him, so how come you're not checking his gun registry like you do with everybody else? And the buddy of mine laughed at him, and he said because Max Kennedy would have so many lawyers after the police wouldn't even bother going around him anymore because if
he said he do what he want to do, huh?
Yeah.
He told you to mind your business.
All he does is duck hunt. He duck hunts for a hobby. He's a criminal lawyer off to the side.
He told you to mind your business, huh?
Pretty much, yep.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, that's just how things go sometimes. You know what I'm saying? When you're messing with high-powered people and shit. But see, that's the position that you want to try to get yourself into, and you can get there. You can work yourself up there.
Well, crazy people too. See, a lot of crazy people would vote for the devil before they vote for somebody who's there to help the people too. And
well, you're gonna get a lot of crazy people everywhere.
Oh, I know that. You gotta have the patience to put up with it.
That's all it is. You know, that's all it is, man. But man, it was good talking to you, man. Try to get yourself that gym membership, and I'm telling you, you're gonna feel a whole lot better once you do.
Yeah, all right, Jim.
You know what I'm saying? But I'll hit you back tomorrow, or give me a call tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? We'll talk about some more things. You know what I'm saying? And help get your shit situated for you, man. It's pretty good talking to you.
All right, then.
All right, no doubt, man. All right, have a good night.
All right,
for sure. I'm serious about my time, man. It's a motherfucking hour. It's a motherfucking hour. Now, pardon body. But a lot of that, man, you know, you just want them to express themselves and be free, you know. I try to I try to tap buttons, you know what I'm saying, subtly when I'm talking to people, so that they you kind of stroking the ego to get the truth out. You know what I'm saying? Y'all seen what we did and how I got it to him. So now we're starting to get an understanding about what he got going on. He liked the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so now the conflict inside is, you like this shit. What you complaining about it for? You know what I'm saying? Y'all see? This is why I chose to do this one this way, because like family's an extreme case, you know what I'm saying? And not to knock nobody that ever, you know what I'm saying, been to school for these type of things, you know what I'm saying? Because I've been to counseling too, like a paid counseling, you know what I'm saying? And it's decent, you know, but I ain't never been to school to help somebody in life. I got real experiences in life. You know what I'm saying? Not just mine, which is a lot, but I got other people's experiences in life. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, I don't want nobody to think like, damn, you know what I'm saying? You can't do it, because you can. You know what I'm saying? You just got to figure it out. Most times you got to humble yourself, you got to sit down, you got to think. Like I told Buddy, you know what I'm saying? I don't care if it's your mama. I don't care if it's your kids. If they ain't walking down your path, y'all can't walk together. It's not going to come out right. You know what I'm saying? So you got to do what you got to do to be you. I can't be you. They can't be you. Only you can be you. You know what I'm saying? I don't try to be nobody else. Now there's other people that I see like, okay, yeah, he did that well. Like, I'm gonna tell this quick story and I'm gonna get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? This was late, pardon the body. I don't know why that shit made me hungry. That shit made me hungry. And then when I looked up, I was like, oh yeah, he for sure at his hour mark. Let me get the fuck up out of here. But I'm gonna leave y'all with this story of adaptability, right? And how you can essentially take from somebody and incorporate it and still make it yours at the same time. Now, there's two situations in which I've done that. First of all, my man's Gino Roberson back in high school, he had this crossover that was raw. Man. So, I set him to the side. You finna teach me that. Oh, yeah. You finna teach me that. And I don't know why. He taught it to me. Like, we actually went to the side and worked on it. You know what I'm saying? And then I used it on him. You know what I'm saying? This is real talk, man. I ain't no bullshit. My man will tell you the same thing. And then the second time when I got to college and started playing, when I first got there, I had to go up against Troy Hudson. And like, what he had was the Hezo. But I couldn't fuck with him. Like he hit me with the Hezo so hard and so many times that I for real had to adapt that motherfucker to my game. So I put that Hezo with that crossover. And you know what I'm saying, I made it mine and it was different. You know what I'm saying? And I had a hop skip with it when I finished. So it was the Hezo still with some other shit, but it was some shiftiness. You know what I'm saying? So you can still see other people in your lane and field of what you're trying to do, that's great, and emulate that. There's nothing wrong with seeing somebody with the life that you want and pattern yourself after that, but you just got to claim it and make it yours. You can't wake up every morning and think, what would this person do? You got to naturally let it flow. You got to trust yourself. More than anything, you got to trust yourself. So if you can trust yourself, man, you're going to jump. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never hit the ground running because I always been flying. I don't want to have to get real with y'all like this, man, but I'm going to keep that 100, man. I ain't never hit the ground running because I always been flying. So when you trust yourself, you're going to spread your wings and you're going to fly. When they say, man, I need somebody to push me off the edge. Yeah, sometimes you need that. But sometimes in these days, like especially these days, 2023, man, that's most likely going to be life because everybody's too separated. Everybody's too isolated. You know what I'm saying? Like, the whole world went through a pandemic that was already forewarned to us years before it even happened, that it was going to happen. And so we can't sit here and think that these people was playing. Like, you know, me and my mans, you could see already within 1 and 2 interviews with this guy, not even interviews, I'm going to call them sessions because, you know what I'm saying, I have plans on doing interviews next, but everything is the way God is going to plan it to be. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to be the vessel. But you could see the second conversation, you know what I'm saying, it's a good percentage of it where we're talking about regular topics. We're not even talking about his girl or his mother. Nothing traumatizing. I'm conditioning him into regular topics. Yeah, I'm conditioning him to regular topics. You know, so he doesn't always bring up the hurtful topic. Your mom, what Zoe's doing because she's triggering what your mom's doing. Nah, man, you could talk about black people in Nova Scotia, Black Lives Matter. You could talk about shit from the groups that you in. Like, he's getting conditioned to talk about different topics and to be able to transition freely. And, you know what I'm saying, that's how you charm and disarm. You know, I don't know how many people gonna watch to get to this far in the game, but this is where it's at. Thoughts from a motherfucking boss, boy. I'll be back at your motherfucking hat racks. No cup, no cane, no motherfucking cape. Just pure game, nigga. That's my man's. White folks, rest in peace.